D. There is no projection of memories. We can now see the value of the usual formulas concerning the role of memory in perception. There is talk even outside of empiricism of memory's contributions. The claim that to perceive is to remember is repeated everywhere. In reading a text, the speed of the gaze is shown to necessarily leave the retinal images incomplete, and the sensible givens must therefore be completed by a projection of memories. A landscape or a newspaper seen upside down would reveal originary vision, the landscape or the newspaper seen normally only being more clear thanks to what is added to them by memory. Because of the non-habitual arrangement of the impressions, the influence of psychic causes can no longer be exerted. End quote. The question is not asked as to why the impressions, when arranged differently, render the newspaper illegible or the landscape unrecognizable. The answer is that the memories need to be made possible by the physiognomy of the givens in order for them to come to complete the perception. Prior to any contribution by memory, that which is seen must currently be organized in such a way as to offer me a scene in which I can recognize my previous experiences. Thus, the appeal to memory presupposes what it is meant to explain, namely, the articulation of the givens, the imposing of a sense onto the sensible chaos. The evocation of memory becomes superfluous the moment that it is made possible, since the work that we expect from it has thus already been accomplished. The same could be said about memory color, Gedächtnisfarbe, which according to other psychologists ends up being substituted for the present color of the objects, such that we see present colors through the spectacles of memory. The question is, what at present awakens the memory color? Herring claims that it is evoked each time we see again, or believe we see again, an object that we already know. But on what grounds do we believe this? What in the current perception teaches us that it has to do with an object we already know, given that its properties are, ex hypothesi, modified? If we want to hold that the recognition of the form or of the size brings with it that of the color, then we are in a circle, since the apparent size and form are themselves modified, and since the recognition here again cannot result from the evocation of memories, but must in fact precede it. Nowhere then does it go from the past to the present, and the projection of memories is but an unfortunate metaphor that covers over a deeper and already accomplished recognition. Finally, the same holds for the proofreader's illusion, which cannot be understood as the fusion of some actually read elements with memories that come to mingle with them to the point of being indistinguishable. How could the evocation of memories be accomplished if they were not guided by the appearance of the actually sensible givens? And if it is so directed, what use is it, since then the word already has its structure or its physiognomy before drawing anything out of the treasure trove of memory? Clearly, it is the analysis of illusions that has lent credence to the projection of memories, following a cursory reasoning that is more or less the following. Illusory perception cannot be based upon the present givens, since I read deduction where the paper bears the word destruction. The letter D, which is substituted in for the group str, not being provided by vision, must then come from elsewhere. Thus, it comes from memory. Some shadows and lights in a flat painting are thus sufficient to give it relief. Some tree branches in a visual puzzle suggest a cat, and some faint lines in the cloud suggest a horse. But past experience can only appear as the cause of the illusion après coup. It was necessary that the present experience first took on a form and a sense in order to recall precisely this memory and not others. The horse, the cat, the substituted word, and the relief are thus all born under my present gaze. The painting's shadows and lights give relief by mimicking the original phenomenon of relief, where they were invested with an autochthonous spatial signification. In order that I find a cat in the puzzle, the unity of meaning, cat, must in some way already prescribe which elements of the given the synthesizing activity should take and which it should leave alone. The illusion tricks us precisely by passing itself off as an authentic perception in which signification is born in the sensible and does not come from elsewhere. The illusion imitates this privileged experience in which the sense fits over the sensible perfectly, is visibly articulated or enunciated in it. The illusion presupposes this perceptual norm. It thus cannot be born of an encounter between memories and the sensible, and this is even more the case for perception. The projection of memories renders both illusions and perceptions incomprehensible, because a perceived thing, if it were composed of sensations and memories, could only be determined through the contribution of memories. It would thus have nothing in itself that could limit the invasion of memories. It would not merely have what we have called that halo of indeterminacy, bouger, that it always has, but rather it would be ungraspable, fleeting, and always bordering on illusion. The illusion can never offer, a fortiori, the firm and definitive appearance that the thing in the end assumes, since this appearance would be missing in the perception itself. The illusion would thus never trick us. Finally, if it is admitted that memories do not project themselves over the sensations, but rather that consciousness compares them with the present, given in order to retain only those that fit with it, Then an original text is acknowledged that in itself bears its own sense and contrasts it with the sense of the memories. This text is perception itself. In short, believing that the projection of memories introduces a mental activity into perception, and that empiricism is thereby reversed, is a mistake. The theory is but a consequence, a recent and futile correction of empiricism. It accepts its premises, it shares its difficulties, and like empiricism, it conceals phenomena rather than clarifying them.